Act 3, calling Israel to a mission. We see the direction of God's redemptive plan when he calls Abraham, promising to make him into a great nation. God narrows his focus and concentrates on one group of people, but the ultimate goal remains the same: to bless all the peoples on earth and remove the curse from creation. When Abraham's descendants are enslaved in Egypt, a central pattern in the story is set. God hears their cries for help and comes to set them free. God makes a covenant with this new nation of Israel at Mount Sinai. Israel is called by God to be a light to the nations, showing the world that it means to follow God's way for living. If they do this, he will bless them in their new land and will come to live with them. However, God also warns them that if they are not faithful to the covenant, he will send them away, just as he did with Adam and Eve. In spite of God's repeating warnings through his prophets, Israel seems determined to break the covenant. So God abandons the holy temple, the sign of his presence with his people, and it is smashed by pagan invaders. Israel's capital city, Jerusalem, is sacked and burned. Abraham's descendants, chosen to reverse the failure of Adam, have apparently also failed. The problem this poses in the biblical story is profound. Israel, sent as the divine answer to Adam's fall, cannot escape Adam's sin. God, however, remains committed to his people and his plan. So he sows out the seed of a different outcome. He promises to send a new king, a descendant of Israel's great King David, who will lead the nation back to his destiny. The very prophets who warned Israel of the dire consequences of its wrongdoing also pledged that the good news of God's victory will be heard in Israel once again. Act 3 ends tragically, with God apparently absent and the pagan nations ruling over Israel. But the hope of a promise remains. There is one true God. He has chosen Israel. He will return to his people to live with them again. He will bring justice, peace, and healing to Israel, and then to the world. He will do this in a final climatic way. God will send his anointed one, the Messiah. He has given his word on this.